Everything seemed calm at Heartland. Until it wasn't. Just when fans thought Amy's path was finally settling, episode 4 delivered a turn that no one saw coming. It's the kind of twist that changes everything, not just for Amy, but for everyone she loves. The quiet beauty of the ranch hides secrets, and in this episode, they begin to rise to the surface. The tone shifts, hearts break, and choices are made that could define the rest of the season. This is the moment that separates comfort from chaos, and Amy Fleming stands right in the middle of it. Episode 4 opens with a calm morning at Heartland. Sunlight spilling over the stables, and Amy brushing down Spartan, the horse that's been with her through everything. There's a peaceful rhythm, the kind that makes you believe things are finally returning to normal. But beneath that calm, something feels different. Amy's silence carries weight. She's trying to move forward, but the past keeps whispering in the background. Lou is juggling too much again, trying to hold the family together while running after her own ambitions. Tim, as usual, has that stubborn streak, pushing everyone a little too hard, trying to fix things his own way. Jack stands as the quiet pillar, offering advice that seems simple but cuts straight to the truth. Every line from him reminds Amy and us that healing doesn't come all at once. Then comes the unexpected visit. Someone from Amy's past shows up, sparking emotions she thought she'd buried. The scene doesn't explode with drama, it simmers. The camera lingers on Amy's eyes, her breath catching for just a moment, telling us everything words can't. The writers play with subtle tension here, mixing nostalgia with discomfort, forcing Amy to face parts of herself she's been avoiding since season 18. Meanwhile, the horses mirror the mood. One in particular, a nervous mare that Amy's been training, refuses to calm down. It's more than a subplot. It's a reflection of Amy herself. She's trying to regain control, to find balance, but the energy around her feels wild and uncertain. By the time the episode reaches its midpoint, we can feel the storm building. The family dinner scene, soft music, clinking forks, shared smiles, looks peaceful, but the dialogue carries unspoken tension. Every word feels heavy, every glance loaded. It's storytelling at its quietest but strongest. You know something is coming. You just don't know when it will break. And when it finally does, it's not loud, it's emotional. A choice, a confession, and a look that changes everything. Episode 4 reminds us why Heartland still has its hold on fans after all these years, because it's not about the shock value. It's about the heart in every choice these characters make. Just when it seemed like peace had finally returned to Heartland, Episode 4 pulls the rug right out from under us. It starts with a single moment, quiet, almost forgettable, but it grows into something much bigger. The shocking twist doesn't come crashing in with loud music or chaos. Instead, it creeps up softly, like the first shadow before a storm. The episode's turning point comes when Amy discovers a truth she was never meant to find. It's connected to the visitor from her past, someone who brings more than just memories. A letter, a confession, or a simple line of dialogue, depending on how you interpret it, changes the entire meaning of her journey this season. Suddenly, the calm we saw in Amy's eyes turns into conflict. She realizes that the peace she's been holding onto might have been built on something fragile, maybe even a lie. What makes this twist hit so deeply is not what happens, but how it happens. The writers don't rush. They let the emotion breathe. Every pause, every close-up on Amy's face tells a story. You can almost feel the weight pressing down on her, the fear of reopening old wounds, the pain of questioning everything she thought she'd moved past. It's one of those moments that remind us why Heartland has always been more about emotion than drama. But the twist doesn't just stop with Amy. It ripples through the family. Jack's calm advice suddenly feels heavier, like he's been holding back something too. Lou's confidence starts to crack, revealing how tightly she's been clinging to control. Even Tim, usually so sure of himself, looks shaken, like he's realizing the cost of his stubborn choices. The entire ranch feels off balance, like the land itself can sense the change. Then comes the scene that defines the episode: Amy standing in the barn, rain falling outside, her reflection caught in the glass. She's alone, but her silence says everything. The twist has left her questioning not just others, but herself. Was she too trusting? Too hopeful? Or is this the moment she truly learns to let go of the past and rewrite her own story? This is what makes episode 4 unforgettable. The twist isn't about betrayal or shock for the sake of it. It's about truth. The kind of truth that hurts before it heals. The kind that forces Amy to face her own heart, even when it's easier to look away. By the end of this episode, one thing is clear: Amy's next chapter won't be about finding peace. It will be about earning it. And that realization is what changes everything. Amy Fleming has always been the heart of Heartland. But in episode 4, something shifts deep inside her, quietly, almost invisibly, yet powerfully enough to change everything that comes next. This isn't the same Amy we met seasons ago, full of hope, love, and certainty. This is a woman standing at a crossroads, learning to live not just for others, but for herself. After the emotional shock of this episode, Amy begins to carry herself differently. The way she moves, the way she looks out across the ranch, there's a stillness, but it's not peace. It's reflection. She's realizing that healing isn't about forgetting the pain. It's about growing around it. The audience can feel that her journey is moving towards something deeper, a season of rediscovery. One of the most powerful scenes comes when Amy returns to the training ring, working with the same anxious mare from earlier episodes. The horse mirrors her perfectly, tense, uncertain, but longing to trust again. Amy doesn't rush her. She simply stands there, patient and calm, until the horse takes that first hesitant step toward her. That small movement says everything. It's not just about taming a horse, it's about Amy learning to open her heart again. Her relationship with her daughter Lindy also evolves here. In one beautifully quiet moment, Amy watches Lindy sleep and whispers something simple, a promise, maybe even an apology. It reminds us that Amy's greatest challenge isn't about romance or success. It's about motherhood and how to raise a child in a world that keeps testing your strength. Jack's wisdom echoes through this episode, reminding Amy that the past doesn't define who she becomes next. His words hit harder now because Amy finally listens, not as a grieving woman, but as someone ready to grow. We see her take her pain and turn it into purpose, channeling it into her work, her horses, and her love for the land. By the end of the episode, Amy doesn't find answers, she finds direction. She's not searching for who she was anymore. She's stepping into who she's becoming. It's subtle, but you can feel it, the shift from surviving to living. And that's why this part of her story feels so powerful. Amy's next chapter isn't just about what happens to her, it's about what she chooses to become. While Amy's journey holds the emotional core of episode 4, the surrounding stories breathe life into the world of Heartland. Every side character, every quiet moment on the ranch, and even the land itself seems to carry meaning. This episode isn't just about what happens, it's about what those moments represent. Lou's storyline, for instance, mirrors the theme of control and surrender. She's juggling leadership, motherhood, and identity, constantly trying to hold everything together. But episode 4 shows her cracks not as weakness, but as truth. There's a powerful scene where she stands alone in her office, late at night, staring at a family photo. The silence speaks louder than dialogue ever could. It reminds us that even strong women like Lou feel lost sometimes. Her arc subtly reminds viewers that control doesn't always equal strength. Sometimes it's the act of letting go that defines real courage. Then there's Tim, who carries the weight of regret. His actions in this episode, a small decision, maybe even an argument, ripple through the family in unexpected ways. You can feel his pride battling with guilt, and it's clear that his relationship with Amy is on uncertain ground again. Yet, under the frustration, there's love. It's flawed, it's rough around the edges, but it's real. Tim's stubbornness has always been his downfall, but here, it becomes a mirror to Amy's struggle. Both are trying to fix what can't be fixed until they face the truth about themselves. And in the middle of it all stands Jack, the grounding force of Heartland. His presence feels almost symbolic, like the voice of the land itself. When he speaks, it's not just to Amy or Tim, it's to the audience. His wisdom about family, loss, and moving forward reminds us why this show has lasted so long. He represents time, the patience it takes to heal, the acceptance that comes with age. and the strength that lives in stillness. Symbolism runs deep through episode 4, from the restless horses to the storm clouds gathering over the ranch. The natural world reflects the characters' emotions perfectly. The horses stand for trust, the rain for cleansing, the ranch for family. Every shot of wind across the fields feels intentional, a reminder that life, like nature, moves in cycles of breaking and blooming. By the episode's end, we understand something profound. Heartland isn't just telling a story about people, it's telling a story about growth, about how love, grief, and hope can all live in the same breath. Every subplot, every symbol, every line of dialogue ties back to one truth: no matter how strong the storm, the heart always finds a way to keep beating. Every great Heartland episode leaves us with questions, and episode 4 is no exception. The moment the credits rolled, fans everywhere started connecting dots, whispering theories, and debating what Amy's next move might be. Because this episode doesn't just end, it lingers. It leaves a trail of emotions and clues that beg to be unraveled. One of the biggest theories floating around is that Amy's unexpected visitor isn't just a figure from her past. They might be tied to something deeper, maybe even a storyline we thought had ended seasons ago. Could this person be the key to understanding Amy's next chapter? Some fans believe this twist might bring her face to face with an unfinished part of her journey, not necessarily romance, but reconciliation. Heartland has always been about closure, and episode 4 seems to hint that Amy's peace will come only when she finally stops running from her own memories. Another theory gaining attention is about the horses, specifically that nervous mare Amy's been training. Viewers have noticed how the horse mirrors Amy's emotional state: tense, hesitant, and slowly learning to trust again. Many fans believe this isn't just coincidence. It's symbolism, foreshadowing Amy's path toward emotional freedom. The idea is that once the mare finally calms, Amy's own heart will find its balance too. It's a beautiful, subtle metaphor that the show uses with such grace. Then there's the question of family, particularly Tim and Jack. Some fans think there's more going on beneath the surface between them. The small glances, the half-spoken words, it's as if both men are carrying a secret. Maybe something about the past that connects back to Amy's pain. The theory suggests that the truth Amy discovered in this episode might shake not just her world, but the entire family's foundation. But perhaps the most emotional prediction centers on Amy's growth. Many longtime viewers feel that season 19 is building toward a rebirth for her, a chance to redefine herself beyond grief, beyond the past. Whether that means love enters her life again, or she discovers a new purpose entirely, is still unclear. But one thing fans agree on: episode 4 feels like the moment Amy finally starts to see herself as more than a survivor. In the end, Heartland doesn't just tell stories, it invites us to feel them, to interpret them, to live them. And that's why fan theories matter. They're not wild guesses, they're emotional connections. Every prediction, every hope, comes from a place of love for these characters. Because deep down, we're all rooting for Amy to heal, to grow, and to finally step into the peace she's fought so hard to find. When the final scene fades and the screen turns to black, what lingers isn't just a story, it's the feeling. Episode 4 reminds us why Heartland isn't just another show. It's a reflection of life itself: messy, fragile, and full of unexpected beauty. This episode doesn't end with answers. It ends with truths, the kind that live quietly in the spaces between words. Amy's journey in this chapter isn't about moving on, it's about moving through. She learns that healing isn't a finish line, it's a rhythm, a quiet heartbeat that carries her forward even when she doesn't know where the road leads. Watching her walk through the barn, the light breaking through the storm clouds, feels symbolic, the beginning of something new. Not perfect, not easy, but real. Around her, every character carries their own lessons. Lou learns that strength doesn't always come from control. Tim realizes that love sometimes means stepping back instead of stepping in. Jack reminds everyone that family isn't just about blood. It's about showing up, again and again, even when it hurts. Together, their stories create a mosaic of growth, a reminder that every heartbreak can become a foundation for hope. The beauty of Heartland has always been its ability to make the simple moments feel extraordinary. A shared glance, A quiet ride, a morning sunrise. Episode 4 captures that magic perfectly. It doesn't scream for attention. It whispers, letting emotion do the talking. The ranch, the horses, the people, they all remind us that even when life changes, the heart always knows its way home. As the episode closes, Amy stands still for a moment, not lost, not broken, but becoming. The camera doesn't need to follow her. It just lets her exist. That's the essence of this story, that healing doesn't always look like triumph. Sometimes, it's just standing tall when everything around you feels uncertain. So as we look ahead to episode 5, one thing is certain: Amy's next chapter isn't just about what she'll do next. It's about who she'll become. And that, more than any twist or reveal, is the story that keeps our hearts tied to Heartland.